Hello, everybody, this is Eric Navas, and welcome to anybody who is new to the channel. My name is Eric Navas. I actually updated the About section, so I'll put a link in the description below about that. So, it's August 21st as of this video. Well, of course, that's the date. What am I thinking? So, the semester's already started for definitely K to 12, and probably colleges as well for the most part. Except for community colleges, they start a little later. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they do that. I guess that's their own way of doing things. But anyways, there's also private universities. I think they start around this time, maybe beginning of September. But yeah, the semester starting. So you probably this video I'm going to talk about and explain why it's okay to say no to a one-to-one Bible study. Sorry, it's just that you know during the summer it's like really hot, and so I don't mean to um gross anybody out. It's just like this. Yeah, this is my sweat. Sorry about that. So you can say no to one-to-one Bible study. So one thing you need to understand is that anybody who's in part of a cult and tries to recruit people, they are for the most part in this hypnotic trance. And if you ever noticed this, and this could be me being nitpicky, they always have this kind of glassy slash glossy expression on their faces, right? So you're on college campus, you're doing your thing, and someone comes to you and asks you for Bible study. If you have no desire to Bible study, say no. Or better yet, it'd be more recommended to be very specific, saying, no, I would not like to have Bible study at all. The reason why you have to say it that way is because in UBF, very they're very obsessed with numbers and trying to get more people into a UBF church branch, so to speak. Because that's what they're fixated on. So when you decline Bible study, just make sure that you need to let them know that no, I do not want to have Bible study with them. You don't need to be. You don't have to be. You don't have to be completely. You don't need to be rude about it. Like you don't have to scream your lungs off, but you have to be firm enough to know that this is not my. I have no interest in that. And one thing a lot of students do, and this is a recurring mistake, is that they would beat around the bush saying, let me think about it, not at this time, not right now. Never say that to them. Don't ever do that. Because what's going to happen is that if you say that, they're going to keep pressuring you, coercing you into saying yes. Because if you say not right now or anything, now let me think about it, be like, okay, do you want to do next week, the week after, what days you have class? Then they're going to, next thing you know, next thing you know, the UBF member, the UBF quote unquote shepherd, is asking like 20 questions. That's what's going to happen. So if you want to avoid that, just say no. Say no. I have no desire. No, I will not. No, I would not like to have. Not. I would not want a Bible study at all. All right. And to some, I agree. I understand why people would beat around the bush. Because I'm those people who are straightforward, but not everybody's like that. And the reason why people might beat around the bush is because they don't want to say no to them because it would hurt their feelings, or so to speak. But you have to understand with UBF and its members, they're infamous for harassing people, for harassing college students. Harassment, there's like it goes as far as from like following students to their classroom, to following them in the bathroom, to following them in the dorms. In extreme cases, they would follow college students to their homes. And yes, this has happened before and still reoccurs to this day. And this is not exaggerating in any way. So if you have no desire for Bible study, just say no. And which leads me to my next point. If you have no desire for Bible study, do not give out your personal information. You can tell them your name, but that's just about it. Do not give them your email. Do not give them your phone number. Do not, or any other forms of communication like this, Skype or something like that. Don't give them that information, especially if you don't want to have Bible study. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, because my laptop was about to die. Anyways, don't do that, because what's gonna happen is if you be around the bush and tell them, I'll think about it, or I might have some interest, and you give them your personal information, you're gonna receive unwanted phone calls, unwanted texts from them. They're gonna call you constantly. In extreme cases, they call you like every single day or text every single day. Hey, are you interested in Bible study? And they're gonna keep doing that to the point where they either give in and say yes, or you're threatening, or I'm not say threatening, or you let them know that you're going to call the cops on them, or if you block their content. Yes, that's what they're gonna. That's what's gonna happen. That's what they're gonna do. So unless you get the police involved, block their number, or pressure to say yes, they will not stop contacting you. They will not. Especially in extreme chapters like Chicago UBF, New York UBF, etc. Like in those extreme chapters, that's what's going to happen. They're going to keep blasting your phone, blasting your messages to basically no end. And as far as social media, it's kind of weird. In UBF, it's pretty much frowned upon, but there are members who stalk costumes on social media. So if they somehow happen to find you on social media, even after you say no to Bible study, there's a chance you might get a message for them. Let's say Facebook, or example, like how Facebook has like Messenger. They're going to message you, right? And like I said earlier, so they're going to keep messaging you. Especially if you beat around the bush until you say until you give in and say yes, you block them or get police involved. So this is exactly why you should not be around the bush. So you have to put your foot down and say, no, I do not want Bible study at all. No, please leave me alone. Right? And sometimes in this case, you might have to hurt their feelings. Now, that doesn't make you a bad person or a sociopathic thing or anything like that, but sometimes, and this is kind of a life lesson, so to speak, is that you need to sometimes you might have to hurt someone's feelings in hopes that they may understand how you're feeling, in hopes that they may see it from your perspective and be in hopes that they would be in your shoes, so to speak. Right? That's not guaranteed, but that's where really faith comes in. But yes, you should always let them know how you. You could let them know how you feel. You don't have to. You're not obligated to, but right, because in the U.S. we have freedom of religion, but we also have freedom of expression. So if I wish not to participate in religion, just let them know that. Just like how you're exercising your right to evangelize students or fish people, I have the right to not participate in that. Please respect my rights. And sadly, in UBF, they pretty much never respect one's human rights, even if they do know about it or not. Not and just be so obsessed, so in their own world, and trying to fix, not fix, but like trying to build upon UBF, even though it's basically a religious blockbuster. Yes, I'm comparing UBF to blockbuster. It's basically dying. So yeah, so this is a message for kind of like new students or new people, and also like let's say you go through Bible study and you don't want to do it anymore. At that point, just let them know that I have no desire to do Bible study anymore. But and the most of the time, they will not respect your decision to stop going. They're gonna try to basically, like I mentioned earlier, they're gonna probably ask you like 20 questions about like, why are you doing this? Doing this? Are you sure about it? Let's talk about it, etc. And in extreme cases, and this is something that happens, which is fairly common, unfortunately, where they will go as far as to say you're possessed or you're following for Satan, that kind of thing. It's just sorry. Actually, that's the understanding in UBF is that only this description in that video I talked about. There's only UBF. There's only one way to exercise faith in Christ, and which is just to quickly synthesize is that you're doing what they want you to do. That's how they understand like exercising faith. If you don't exercise faith the way UBF does it, then you don't have faith in Christ. It's bizarre. And also, they only believe in one gift for God, which is being a Bible teacher, being a human shepherd to another person, which is actually a ripoff from the shepherding movement. But I'll talk about that in another video. So yeah, this is kind of a shorter video, right? Video. So that's just what's gonna happen when you say no. Some tips and what advice on how to, um, I guess, deal or like resolve the situation. So if they do continue to harass you after you say no, after you stop going to Bible study, you may it might have to go to the point of authorities involved. If for me, for my personal advice would be like it should be just kind of a last resort, because if you think about it, they're just exercising their beliefs, but unless they actually take action against you, unless they like I guess stalk you to your house or like make a threat, the cops cannot really do anything. Cops are not reliable, but that's my I have a personal story about that, but yeah, so you also definitely want to record them. Let's say just take a picture of their face or have a video of them like continuously like asking Bible study and showing proof that like, hey, you asked me this many times, I already said no. How could you forget? I get it, we're humans and forget, but that's not an excuse to overcome those mistakes, to correct those mistakes. So yes, you definitely want to resort to recording them, and it's kind of a double standard. Standard like UBF people don't like being recorded unless it's from like unless it's from some UBF, more specifically like a high-ranking person. So you definitely want to do that. It comes down to it. You definitely want to be with some friends, or be with your friends or make new friends. You always want to be in the group, and that way, when you're in a group, you're less likely to get fished or recruited by them or approached by them, versus if you're like by yourself, like out in the open. So that's all. So that's my pointers for for the new coming student returning or freshman. If you're kind of a person who asks for one-to-one Bible study. Okay. So to ask for one-to-one Bible study, that's how you know that this is a UBF person. Right? If there's any other advice or any other suggestions or anything you disagree with, leave in the description. Leave in the description in the description, leave it in the comment section below. And until next time.